Party people.
What did you just? That was like Jock Jams kind of stuff, bro.
Second time we're mentioning Jock Jams.
Let's go. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Party people.
Surprised you didn't have any Jock Jams queued up today.
And I totally forgot we even talked about it.
Morning, Ryan 840.
That was simultaneous.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I only heard, that's weird because I only heard one sound.
Simultaneous. We did it at the same time.
Simultaneous.
Ryan 840 is here.
Ryan 840. What up, Shane?
I want to party with Ryan 840.
We will have to have and figure out the show meetup thing. We should do a holiday one like we did before.
We should do another holiday happy hour.
Yes.
Yeah, we should do that again. And then, because last year we kind of did it, but we did it on the first Big Ten home game.
Yes. Let's see when that would fall this year. Let's just take a peek. Well, God, you're on to something.
We got to do a little better than we did last year.
I thought we did pretty good.
We did fine. It was hard for people to hear us.
Yeah. The first Big Ten home opener. Oh, be a Friday.
Whoa.
7:00, Indiana.
Whoa. Oh, I think we just found our new holiday happy hour day.
Friday the 13th. Weird. But
is that in December?
December, Friday the 13th.
Oh, hooks. I think we got to do that.
That is right before. Yeah, that's the
Shane,
perfect time.
Shane said he missed the first one.
How about we start looking at that? Let's start having conversations around the 13th of December. Diciembre.
I like it. Hopefully by then we have our shirts. By the way,
Ernesto, glad you're alive.
Okay, good, Ernesto. Good to see you're alive. We missed you yesterday. You need to figure out what's going on with those shirts because the longer I've noticed something about this place.
Do we let it go? I told you the update, didn't I?
The longer you don't hear about something, that's bad news.
I talked to Katie last time about it, and they were working on it. She had to get a proposal over to our shirt dealer that we're working with.
But that was like a week ago.
I know. Also, there's I think it's probably not top box material because I think around in the media world right now, there's a lot of focus where else. I know. Answer that. There's a lot of focus on other media stuff right now.
Oh yeah, political stuff.
Yeah. We're a few weeks away from election, so everybody's really focused on their coverage.
Just so you know,
I
might write your name in.
Please. Why?
I just
nope.
No, I can't do that.
No, don't do that, man. I mean, not that I ain't gonna say that. I mean, I could sit at home and do nothing and run the country too.
Bill,
sorry, it had to come out.
We don't do that on this show.
Sorry.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy hump day. Welcome in the Morning Hookup. Go Husk. Whoa. Middle of the week, which now it's, I've self-proclaimed Wednesday is my favorite day of the week. Non-Fridays, all that, right?
Yeah, you've said that.
I feel like back-to-back weeks now, it's becoming your favorite day of the week.
Oh,
because I think what are you doing today?
I'm playing golf today.
What did you do last Wednesday? I think you played.
No, last Wednesday
I think you played. One of the last 2 of the last 3 Wednesdays, I think you've played.
No, I did not play last Wednesday.
I don't know. It was something because I know this has become an event for you on Wednesdays now.
Well, no,
I'm just saying
it's not because I'm playing today. I'm playing with a totally different group.
It doesn't matter. Playing is playing. It doesn't matter.
If you think Wednesday is turning into my golf day, you're wrong. It's
so hard to
work out.
Work out. Good morning. Kick us off the right way on the Morning Hookup.
Oh God, I had a day for some heck yesterday, but I'm over it. I'm all good. The guy, contractor owner, came and paid for my tires. The guy didn't even realize he didn't have his load covered. You know what happens when you don't have your load covered, guys? Come on.
Hey, how the hell did you break your tires?
He had siding all the way up to the brim, and it came off, and I rolled over it, all of it, sliced it.
Oh,
geez.
Instant. And he didn't even realize it. It's against the law to not have your load covered. We have that all over the state because of all the loads of trash in the sun.
That's what I tell my kids.
Me too. It's illegal because I'll throw you out the house. But I'll still support you.
Awesome. This is awesome.
Well, we're glad to hear you're okay, man.
Yeah, totally off script, guys. I don't know, man. It's just it's dank out here. My wife's like, "When are you going to Nebraska?" I said, "I don't know if I want to go." And I'm like a curmudgeon today, and I don't know. It's all good. And hey, Will, man, the music. I want that song. There's something about today. Bill is right.
It is.
There's a pep in your step.
Wednesdays are pretty awesome.
Well, I get to play golf. I'm excited.
Yeah. Hey. What's that?
I'm excited to play golf today. I guess that's why I'm feeling good.
Yeah. You know what you need to do? You need to do your room in a golf motif. Not golf ball white, but maybe green.
What's wrong with white?
Money.
What's wrong with white rooms?
Well, I don't want him to copy. Bill, you're unique. I could party with you, dude. From Stripes, I like to party with you. There's no doubt.
Let's go.
We'd both be in the doghouse for a lifetime.
Done. Yep.
Heck, I'm already in it. Hey, guys, I can't wait to listen to the show. I'll call you tomorrow. I just couldn't help but call in. I don't have anything written down, and I'm about to send some more mail to you guys.
Let's go.
Hey, we'll talk to you soon, bro.
Who cares? I'll talk to you soon.
See you, Ernesto.
All right. Boy, here we go. Got a lot to get to today coming up. NBA got kicked off, Major League Baseball. The rotations are set for the World Series. We're going to get in here real quick in a little bit Coach Satterfield talk, because he talked yesterday. We got some audio from that. Henry T. Buchanan, about 15 or so. And then we're going to look at the NFL, because we're a couple weeks away from the trade deadline, because something big happened overnight this morning that we'll get to as well. But before,
I got to give a happy birthday shout out.
Yes.
To a good friend of the show, good friend of mine. It's Colin's birthday today.
That was like a song. You just quote a song.
No, I don't.
Good friend of the show. Sing that. Good friend of mine, good friend of the show.
No, I'm not.
I think that's perfect.
That's not a song.
It's not, but it could be.
So happy birthday, Colin.
What up, Colin? Happy birthday.
It is currently, let's see, it's 6 hours ahead in London. So it's
4
o'clock there. He's just about getting ready to go out. So
he's unhappy. All right, he started about 3 o'clock, or he might have started this morning, bro.
Maybe. So I hope he has a good birthday, man.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Colin. I hope you're enjoying. Usually he hangs out with us on Thursdays on the show, but so maybe he was today. But happy birthday. If he's on tomorrow, then we'll have to bring. If he's on the day, I'll see if we can make a quick call to get this birthday song sang to him. Right. If he's on, but if he's not, then we'll try to see if we can set it for tomorrow.
Yeah, him. Yep, we can do that.
All right. So, boy, NBA got kicked off last night.
I kind of have a problem with us opening the show with NBA.
No, I just want to get to it because I feel like Laker fans act like Nebraska fans a lot.
Wait a minute. Aren't you a Laker fan?
I am, but it's so reactionary, and I love some of the stuff. So, first of all, Boston set the tone last night, by the way, if you saw what they did.
Yeah.
My goodness. Typically, I was talking to my kid about, they got their rings and all the banner, all that last night. Typically, those games, you're like, all right, there are so many emotions. Play the other team if you're betting. Right? Because it was a big opening Eastern Conference game. The Knicks are in town. The new look. Right? Boy, but Boston 132-109. I asked you this morning. I think they tied the NBA mark for threes last night.
In a game or an opening game?
Opening game. No, in NBA history.
Wow.
29 of 61 from three. They shot 61 threes.
Jeez.
Their starting five. Here's what they did from three. This is their starting five. 8 of 11, 6 of 10, 5 of 9, 4 of 6, 3 of 5.
Jeez.
My gosh.
Wow.
That's lighted on fire.
Yeah, and that's no fluke. I mean,
No.
that's what this team is.
No.
That's why they're getting a lot of run to repeat. I know it's the first game, and you can't take a lot from the first week of the NBA, but for the Celtics case, I think you can.
Whew.
I mean, this is them.
Man, talking about how hard it is to repeat and yada yada. Maybe there's some doubters. Huh. I know it's only one game, but man, there's proof in that pudding right there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Give them credit.
Of course,
it's a long season
with the Knicks too. I mean, you bring in a guy like Cat, it's going to take a while to to mash and mesh, whatever the word is.
What a statement full of emotions last night. In the second game, Lakers got it done 110-103 against your T-Wolves.
Yeah, who cares?
Anthony Davis, boy, if he stays healthy, I don't know. 36 and 16 last night.
Yeah,
he had a great night. Anthony Edwards, good night. I mean, he actually didn't shoot it great. 10 of 25. He had 27. Randall's debut, 5 of 10. He had 16 and 9 last night.
Okay.
So, decent start for them.
Yeah. What did DiVincenzo do?
DiVincenzo.
Did he play?
Yeah, off the bench. Didn't shoot a lot. 3 of 11. Okay. 10 points, 3 rebounds.
All right.
2 of 8 from 3.
And my boy Naz Reid had 12 off the bench.
Yeah, he did.
He's the man.
3 of 8. Made 4 free throws, so 12. But on the other side, again, obviously, Lakers got it done. There's so many reactions. We've got one from Charles Barkley, which I think is classic. I love Charles Barkley. But the biggest thing was history set last night, right? LeBron and Bronny. First father-son combination to play. Cool moment. I'll give him Lakers credit. The cool moment happened. LeBron's on his rest as he's due to go back in. That's when they brought LeBron and Bronny checking together for the very first time. Cool moment.
And that's
I don't
all
want
it
to
is.
take that away. I don't want to take that away from them. It is a cool moment.
But Hooks, that's all it is.
That's all it was. He played 2 minutes last night.
That's all it's gonna be this entire season.
Yes.
Is that it's just a cool thing. Bronny's not gonna do anything to help this team.
No.
Bronny got so lucky that he's LeBron's kid. I mean, he had
GM LeBron.
He had a worse college career than
a lot of people.
A lot of Nebraska players.
Yes.
And he still got drafted.
A lot. He will be
so lucky.
I will I don't non-factor in this season for them.
No,
they got the moment done. They got it out of the way. Made for Laker fans. They can move on from that now. But there was I love Charles.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I started this way because I think Husker fans can relate. Right? Because how we react. Like you win game 1 of the season of football. You're like, yes! You got Joel Clark. Everybody's talking about you.
Yep.
Because ESPN was talking about the Lakers this morning. But I think Chuck last night hit it on the head.
Doing there, Chuck Stir. I'm in a good mood. Boston's been great. The only thing bad, I got to listen to those dudes on ESPN talk about how the Lakers are contenders tomorrow, and they're going to be the number 9 seed, where they always are.
You weren't impressed.
You sound bitter.
You were not impressed.
No, these guys.
But they're at the top of the West right now. That's all that matters, right?
They are. Yeah, but they're going to beat a dead horse tomorrow. They'll be like, the Lakers are contenders. The Lakers are contenders. And they know.
Alone at the top of the West.
Top of the West.
Listen,
right now. Stop being a Laker hater.
I'm not a Laker hater. I just hate when we gas these teams up that ain't no good.
Hey, by the way.
I agree.
Yeah, they're rejoicing in LA today. They're number 1.
Yeah,
1-0.
1-1.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
But I'm a Laker fan.
Bronny James is going to average 0.4 points a game.
Yeah, probably as many yards as Coach Satterfield wants to go for.
Yeah, well,
what did he say? As we transition that, well, they asked the question was brought up. I think we have some of the audio we'll have coming up, but they talked about the average yards per play that you're looking to get, right? I think the quote was 4 to 6. 4 to 6. And I kind of looked that up. And 4 to 6, by the way, let's go down to tell you. So there's like right now, Miami, 8 points. Like they average 8. That's number 1 in the country, 8 yards per play. Everything goes in that, right? Explosive plays, the run plays, everything, right? Let's go down here. Let's find. Oh, sorry. My computer kind of glitched on me.
When does it not?
So, Nebraska. Average 5 a play. That puts you 95th in the country.
Okay.
What do you think your offense is at? That's the problem. Why are we're gunning for 95th? That, in my opinion, when you say that, like, oh, we're gunning for the top 100.
Well, hold on.
In offensive production.
When you said 5 per play, that almost doesn't sound believable.
Well, but these teams are out there. There's 94 teams ahead of us. Miami's averaging 7.9 per play.
It could be worse.
I mean, we're going to go up against a team on Saturday. They're 4th in the country. They average 7.5 a play. Their last 3 games, 6.5.
It's also Ohio
It's just
State.
a weird, right? But you go, let's look at the top ones, right? So let's go. We'll look at Ohio State 7.5, Penn State 7.1, Indiana 7.1,
Yep.
Oregon 6.9.
That's what happens when you have receivers that
The top
can get
teams
open.
in the country in offense are averaging in that, like just to crack the top 25 need to be over 6.
Yeah. It's funny how
where are we
said,
aiming where are we aiming this at? Because he sounded a little stumped by it.
All right, let's play it.
Okay.
This is Satterfield.
Marcus Satterfield.
Between 4 and 6. I don't know what that. I honestly don't even know what leads the country in yards per play. That's a great question. You stumped me. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know what's leading the country, but I want it to be a little bit more than what it is now, for sure.
I don't put stock in the coach speak, but I edit.
He told you he doesn't know.
I edit his press conferences every week for the newsroom, and he is so boring.
He told you doesn't know.
Well, I like Robin's idea.
I was just confused a lot listening to it yesterday. I really was. Not that you have to know all those data, right? But you need to know. I mean, identify where you're at, like where the country is in these things. And then he's like, he said about the running game. A lot of that's on me. I have to commit to it. He said he need to get back into the mindset that to win the game, you must establish the run.
Yeah. Well,
where are we?
Listen, I think we did a complete 180 going into this season where we're like, okay, we got to run the ball to set up the pass game. Well, now I don't think the pass game is
because we're not scared. We're not physical. We haven't become physical. We haven't been able to run the football. Coach Rule has talked about having issues blocking in the outside. We saw Mazuka at tackle last week, right? They got issues there. They're trying to turn a guard into a tackle, but praise him for trying to turn that, help out. I mean, you're making a football team one-dimensional with a freshman quarterback.
Yep.
Easy to scheme, right? But now I got to get back to it. We did not know this already. Am I being too hard on this?
No, I don't think so.
That we're going and again, there's so much more that goes into it. And I get it. But when you say 4 to 6 yards, like if you get to the 6 yard of play, all right, now we're talking 36.
Right.
Guess who sits at 36? James Madison.
Hey.
Which is where his face just came from.
Yeah.
Georgia's 6. I mean, all the teams that are excelling,
I know, but
are over that number,
which
means we don't run the ball very well. We don't have explosive plays have gone away from us as of recent, right? With our stretching the field with our receivers. How many explosive running plays have we had this year?
Yeah, I don't think. 1?
Less than 5, right?
I can't remember any. I don't know. It does have to be better, but I don't like how you keep bringing up Ohio State and Georgia. Like, clearly we're not Ohio State and Georgia.
The elite part of the country on offense.
You're still working through
things. How far you are away. Our last 3 games, by the way, in this stat, 4.6.
Yeah, well,
whoo.
Maybe we're not as good as we all thought 5 weeks ago.
Guess who we're tied with?
I'm going to guess we're tied with.
There's 2 teams we're tied with. One, it'll be our next home game. We're going to try to get.
Yeah.
Wow. Try to hopefully get 5.
Yikes.
Guess what? UCLA's done their last 3, 5.4.
They're improving.
Michigan, by the way, checks in at number 99, 4.9.
Yeah. It's got to change.
I don't know. Mindset, something like that. Just, I don't know. It's just weird.
Let's take a break.
All right. You ready to take a break? And I've got off the soapbox now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a break. You can, if you're watching, you can see him. He is patiently. I think he's got new gear on, by the way. Look at that. It can't be cold in that damn office. Let's take a break. Come back with the legend, Henry T. Buchanan.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
It is cold in this building.
What up, T?
What's up, fellas?
T.
Hey, it is chilly in this building.
What is it? It's probably what 90 outside, like what 65 inside.
Hey, it's been in the 80s. It's been in the 80s, 90, low 90s, 80s, but it's getting a little chilly at night. It's getting down to the 60s and high 50s.
Oh, if it's 60s at night, you got like booties on and like
man, and I'm sleeping with the doors open so I can get air in the house. Yeah, I haven't carried this jacket in, and I have a short sleeve on, and it's Wednesday, and this is the first time I put a jacket on, and I was sitting at my desk working, and I was like, wait a minute, it's a little nippy, so I had to take the tags off. And
you're like, I guess I'll keep this one.
Yeah, it's a little nippy there. Yeah, that was a good conversation about the football team. That was give all the props that they deserve. Indiana's a really, really good football team.
They are.
But it just seems like we're regressing a little bit. And I don't know if it's a step up in competition or we're not fooling anyone, and people are scouting us very well. They're taking away all our strengths, and you can see it. But I thought the momentum was changed when we were going in for that touchdown, and what was it, a fumble or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, that
second drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of broke.
Just made some bonehead plays.
Yeah, and it seems like once that momentum was taken away, we never recovered, and Indiana just kept rolling and rolling, and I mean that quarterback. I thought the Illinois quarterback was good. That quarterback is good.
Ooh.
Yeah, accurate, and those receivers are special as well. And running game, I mean, they're balanced, both offense and defense. So I'm looking forward to see what they do against Ohio State. Well, we got to face Ohio State first.
Yeah, we do.
Hey, growing up, I mean, because obviously you spent a lot of time around Indiana. I mean, when you were young, did anybody really give a crap about their football team?
No. I mentioned that last week. It was all about Bobby Knight and the basketball team.
Yeah.
The undefeated team with Scott May and Kit Benson and all those guys, and Bobby Wilkerson, and they were and they were battling with Michigan. Michigan was great back then in basketball, and of course Indiana, it's all basketball, high school and college, and Digger Phelps was Notre Dame, Purdue was there, Gene Cady, it's
Gene Cady.
We grew up, and I don't remember the Indiana State coach, but I remember Larry Bird and Carl Nix and all those guys playing for Indiana State. Indiana's basketball is everything. It still is. I'm still never got over them getting rid of the one state champion, and now we have classes like every other state, and that it just took away the luster and the it's something that we were unique when it comes to high school basketball, but I understand why they did it, but it's just almost we're still in an era of the trophy era, participation trophy, and we wonder why, we are where we're at when it comes to sports and our younger generations, and nobody knows how to work, and nobody wants to see someone suffer, man. And it's nothing better than a motivation in losing and getting nothing for it, and watching the people that beat you celebrate and things that sort of just makes you hungry to go work hard and practice hard.
Sit tight for me, T. Sit tight.
Yeah.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Wednesday. Welcome in. Boy, just a legend. One of the greatest guys out there. Henry T. Buchanan. T, what up?
What's up, fellas? What's up, Bill? What's up, Will? Just, enjoying the backstage conversation, or wherever you want to call that, the pause and talking little Indiana hoops, high school and college. And I know you had asked a question about the IU and how we didn't follow football growing up, and we didn't. And now that they're on the map and making a lot of noise, they're a team to reckon with. Very balanced, coached very well, and got some very, really good skilled players. and they're one of the best teams in the Big Ten and in the country. And so I'm not going to take anything away from them, but I think our beloved Huskers are regressing a little bit, and we just got to get back down to basics, man, and turn this around. And we started Ohio State, which is a tough place to play, and they got one loss and can't afford to lose another game, so they are going to be waiting, toes tapping for us. And then I got to deal with my big sister Nita. She's a whole Ohio State Buckeye fan. She roots for the Huskers until they play the Buckeyes. So I'll be getting mean texts and calls and during the game and
block that number.
I know that's the only time we don't talk. We're not nice to each other. Is when we play them in basketball and football.
See, I want to ask you, kind of relate what football just went through. Obviously, a lot of adversity and struggling on certain aspects of the game. What was it like? Because obviously, through seasons, teams struggle. Players individually struggle. What was it like, and how did you guys adapt as a team through the seasons you were at Nebraska when you struggled? What were those conversations like? Because obviously Coach White said everybody's pissed. There's a lot of pissed off guys right now. Okay, but how'd you guys deal with it and try to work your way out of that funk?
Well, number one is the players are more frustrated than the coaches and the fans because they are the ones who are out there competing and falling short. And as a player, and I remember, when you get frustrated, and coaches can coach and give you your roles and the game plans and things of that sort. But if we're not executing, and it's on us. And sometimes you got to look at yourselves and meet with one another and make each other accountable, just in anything you do in life, in the business world, where at some point you got to look in the mirror and self-reflect and figure out what you're going to do as an individual to contribute to the success of any program. And I just remember back, and I just remember, and I'm not going to take anything away from Indiana or even Illinois, those two losses. But what I will say is that, at the collegiate level, they got professional scouts. They are looking at film. And I remember playing against Missouri, and I'll never forget this. And they had a guard by the name of Lee Coward. And he was talking to me during the game. We were playing in Mizzou, and I remember him telling me that we've scouted y'all, and we know your plays better than you do, and we know you all don't deviate from your plays. So I watched him one time. We was running this offense, and I was supposed to cut down through the middle to the baseline, and he was already there looking at his wrist, waiting on me to come down there. And you just kind of think about that is that how important scouting is and preparation. And then when they're taking something away, how do you adjust? And what I did in that specific game, and I might have gotten in trouble, I don't remember what Coach Nee said to me in the timeout, but I remember stepping back and getting the 3-point shot off. I'm going to deviate. And so there's some of the things you have to do is you got to counter what the defense, because they're going to try to take away everything that you're throwing at them. And if they're being successful, then as a coaching staff and as a player, you got to figure out a way, because the playbook is enormous, and when you talk about in-game adjustments, halftime adjustments and things, I like to see a little bit more of that. And I remember Coach Nee would always make adjustments during the day, and I remember when a team would make a run on us, and sometimes I would call a timeout. I'm like, Coach, they don't hit 6 in a row. Like, hey, timeout. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. I'll never forget that. Keith Newbert, he asked him, I go see my teammate Keith Newbert, and he brings that up every time. When I would run and call a timeout, I would get the fist, and Coach Nee would flip out. It was like, T, what is that? Is that JUCO? What are you doing? You call a timeout, you screaming, but I'm like, hey, but the ref gave you the timeout. Yeah, but that's what it is, and as a player, you can feel the momentum shift. and as a leader, I didn't mind going to Coach D and telling him this wasn't working. Let's try something different. And sometimes he would come to me, T, you're out there. What should we do differently? Now, don't get me wrong. Football is totally different than basketball because you got 11 offensive players, 11 defensive players. So you gotta give that message to everyone and making sure everyone is doing their part. In basketball, it's just 5 of us, and it's pretty easy to see who's out there, not in sync. And it's easy to point it out and motivate that person and get them in the right places. And we had a teammate of ours, name was Pete Manning, and I remember D. Vick used to always, Pete, you're supposed to be here, you're supposed to be there. We're talking to each other, but that's neither here or there. It's just more about the in-game adjustments, and as a player, you have to take accountability and have those team meetings and saying, the coaches is giving everything we need. We have everything we need to be successful. Now it's up to us, and I think that's where we're at now. And and I'm not giving Coach Rule a pass by no stretch of imagination or just coaching staff. But sometimes when you have a performance like that, it's easy to blame the coaches, But sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, what did I do to make this team successful and make your own self accountable? And that's kind of what was our philosophy back in the day, Denny Nee era.
We're talking to Henry T. Buchanan, former Husker. T, this Sunday, this season, you could say unofficially gets started with the exhibition. Grand Valley State coming in, which is from Michigan, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought they were from Texas, and goes to show how much I know.
Well, real Grand Valley State is in Texas because they're in the same league as Grand Canyon.
There you go.
So there is a Grand Valley State in Texas.
Yes, Rio Grand Valley. Actually,
okay.
our former Husker, he was on the Husker staff. Jay Stedman was the assistant coach out there for a while. Now he's the head coach of Independence Junior College in Kansas.
Well, the exhibition is Saturday, and what do you think the goal is? Obviously, you want to win, but I mean, is there other things that you're trying to figure out before the season starts?
Well, this is where you're competing for starting position and playing time. And it gives the coaching staff and Coach Hoiberg the opportunity to see what his teams are made of and who's going to bring it and who's not. Now, he has the luxury of having Bryce Williams and Gary and Sam Hoiberg, some of the players who's been there, who's been in the trenches. That's going to show the new players, this is what it's all about. This is what Nebraska is all about. Now, keep in mind, and, we did, well, I guess I shouldn't be, it's not a big deal, but we did scrimmage Utah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Also, everybody's aware of that. And, and that's just to fill out, because I remember one of my good friends, Kip Kissinger, who's a big time NCAA ref, was out here in Arizona, secretly refereeing a scrimmage between Texas and another big time school that wasn't even from Arizona. So that happens, and that's just a chance for you to get out there and see what you have. You practice amongst each other, all summer and the beginning of the school year. Now here's your chance to see how you size up against another team, and this is an opportunity to see where you land. And I remember back when we would play foreign teams, Europeans, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, teams like that. And this is before the Europeans got as good as they are now. And I just remember just filling out, and Coach Nee was looking at different lineups and different game plans, and he's looking at players and seeing who's bringing it and who's not. So, but we're so deep, regardless of how they perform, we're going to still be 10 to 12 deep on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to have that luxury throughout the year. He has something special brewing, and it's like I always say, you can never have enough talent, and having too much talent, what someone would say, which I don't think should be anything, a phrase like that. I mean, a phrase like that shouldn't even be said, because if you have the talent, you're going to win. And there's nothing better than having someone who can step in and we don't lose a beat. And this is the type of team that we have this year with this program with 10 to 12 players. And now you're just battling for minutes, because I'm pretty sure at this point he probably has a pretty good idea who's going to be his starters at this point. Now it's okay. So now how I'm going to juggle, and I don't even want to call them the second string, because they are all on the same level. Who's going to get the minutes, and I think it's going to be matchups and between size and speed and what they're facing. So, and this is their chance to get an opportunity to see how that's going to work for them. Golly, this is where I hate. I love Arizona, but I want to be there and looking at this. And now I got to hear everything secondhand. Now I know this game won't be televised, but I think some of the conference games are going to be televised. So I can see it on Big Ten Plus. So I'm looking forward to that.
T, I want to ask you. Obviously, you came in to Nebraska from the JUCO ranks, and all that. Now we've got a lot of portal transfers, right?
Yes.
Talked about what the there's going to be a honeymoon phase, right? There's going to be a honeymoon phase, but what the transition's like for this team and what the timeline should be like for this team to gel together. Obviously, they've been together, but it's way different when the lights get turned on and you're at PBA on how those five on the floor function, not really knowing each other.
Yeah.
So now.
Well, they've gotten to know each other already. Just how much they've been around each other, knowing each other, and playing with one another. And I think the key is how soon that these players accept their roles. And what I mean by that, once Coach Hoiberg establishes, what roles you have and what his expectations of you, that's going to be on the coaching staff. And then from the players is just taking that role and running with it. And I don't, with Derek Vick and I, when we came to Nebraska from Hutchinson JUCO, you got to remember too, Jeff Reckaway came from Southern Idaho as well. So it was three of us, and Richard Van Pogies was a freshman. So we had quite a few new players, and then some of the players who stayed around from Coach Iba with Brian Carr and Bill Jackman and Keith Newbert and Brian Carr and so we had our Anthony Bayless, so we had a Joe Sealer. I mean, I can name, well, of course you're gonna know your team, but we had to blend in with them that had been there. These have been, Brian Carr, still our all-time assist leader in the history of our program, that's already been established, and now he has to learn a new system, from a slow down to up-tempo type game. And, Bernard Day was flexible, and Bill Jackman, and, all these guys are learning a different type of style of basketball. And us coming from, JUCO, we came from a different style. So just at that point, that goes to tell you the summer and pre-conference and, when school starts, conditioning, you get to know one another and being with one another on a daily basis. And then on the court, you're competing. So as an athlete, you know what you need to do. The preparation. And then now it's up to the coaches to teach us and tell us exactly what they expect of us, and then we had to go out there and execute it. So, but we were mature. We had seniors, and then Derek Vick and I and Reckaway was juniors. We had a couple of freshmen, so it just worked out well for us. With this transfer portal and this NIL, I mean, you got major coaches, starting with Nick Saban, and now. Now Bennett leaves Virginia because he doesn't, because it's more parallel. I mean, it's a balance from football, basketball. It's like I just think those powerhouses are going to be obsolete, and you're going to see a lot of different teams winning national championships in all sports. And is that a good thing? I think so. Who wants to see Alabama every other year winning the national championship? Now you got Indiana that's in the mix. Different teams that you never heard of from a football perspective competing. You're going to see that in basketball, in women's and men's. And volleyball. I know Nebraska's still a powerhouse, but as this transfer portals continue to materialize and NIL and more money being donated to programs. And, now it's competing with the best. I talked to a couple. I had a friend from Muncie, Indiana. He reached out to me, named is Stan. He reached out to me, and he works with high school players and trying to get them prepared for college. And he even shared with me how difficult it is to find schools to pick up these, unless you're a 5-star or at least 4-star, it's difficult to get scholarships and get schools to look at you, because they're, these schools now are going to the transfer portal, number 1, junior college, number 2. And if their roster is not filled, then they'll find a freshman and say, bring you in here to be a practice player. And who wants that? At this point in your career. So, but, it puts a lot of pressure on the high school kids, and it put a lot of pressure on folks, because the folks who's transferring in, they already getting paid. It's just like your guaranteed contracts in the professional side of things, where, regardless how good you are, you're not going to play, because we pay this guy $100 million and he's going to play. So that's just the way the landscape of collegiate sports is going. And I get it, but man, they need to ring this in a little bit, man, because it's starting to get out of control.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do. T, before we get you out of here, the NBA has begun. 2 games in the books.
Yes.
Who's going to be winning it all? You got to give me an answer right now. And it's okay to pick the Celtics. I mean, a lot of people think they'll be repeating.
I was just getting ready to say that. I watched them last night. Oh, my goodness. And they didn't even have Porzingis. I mean, I tell you what. If Jason Tatum plays like that and the Celtics play the way they did, they didn't lose a beat. It looks like they just came off the NBA Finals. And I know it's the first game, and we haven't seen Denver. It was nice to see LeBron and his son. I know a lot of people have been criticizing the fact that should he be in the NBA, but we work in the world of nepotism. That's what happens. and if you can pull a family member at that level, more power to you. But I'm excited. I'm really excited about college basketball, to be honest. I'm waiting on my Pacers. I'm a Pacer fan. But if I had to predict, in the first team that I seen play, because I watched Minnesota and the Lakers after that, I was like, Celtics looks like they are going to go back to back at this point. But this is the only team that I've only seen 2 games, and that's what that can go by. But you gotta love it, man. The basketball's back, and I'm pretty excited. My toes are tapping. I love college football, but it's not like college basketball. It's not like March Madness, and we are right there at the beginning. And I think it's wide open. And my prediction we're still going to finish in the top 5. That 12 crap. I don't know what they look at. I don't know what these other teams have. I can't speak to it with the transfer portal. I don't know how good, like you said last week, that Rutgers had a really, really good recruiting class. But if it's freshmen, I'm not worried about them. If they don't have the experience, I don't care. Unless you got Duke type players, 5 stars, I'm not worried about. And Lord,
Tar type players.
I'm just saying. But y'all got your guard. Davis came back, right?
Davis back. Yeah,
So y'all good too. But I just think from a fan perspective, I think we're in a good place at all levels, professionally and collegiately, and we're seeing teams. We're not seeing one dominant team, so it's nice to see a little parity at all levels, and it's kind of fun to watch. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but I'm right now. You took the words out of my mouth, Will. Back to you. It's right now. It's the Celtics, and I only seen 2 games, and they seem like they are already peaking at getting 1. So, but anyway, but I tell you what. How about the 3 Huskers that's on rosters? And
that's good stuff.
Now, who would have thought? Our Australian guy,
Jack McVeigh.
Who would have thought he was going to be there?
I know.
Yeah, no, it's great stories.
And Batten averaged 16. He finished with Portland averaging like 16. And man, I'm McGowan. You got all 3 of them in there. So, and man, we still there, man. So the Cornhuskers still representing. So I'm loving that. And also, hey, can I give Yanni a shout out for his recent birthday? He just turned 50. You know,
Ooh, baby.
50s, old school. I missed his birthday party. Had some stuff going on, and you know, I haven't talked to him about it, but all good. But he turned a big 50, so happy birthday to him. And our boy Shu is starting to. He's getting ready to start campaigning, looking for all the support. So you know, if you all know Shoecraft, man, he's going to make a difference. So we just got to get him in that seat, in that councilman seat. So let's do that for him. And I think we're in a good place, fellas. You know, basketball's here. NFL is starting to gear up. My Chiefs are still undefeated, and knock on wood, I don't want to jinx them. And I just think we're in a good place. I don't know how y'all feel about sports, man, but what better thing that brings people together and things that you can talk about positively, you know, and it is not bitterness, unless you're a Cowboy fan. You know,
which we love that they're miserable.
Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't say that because Luke, you know, Vic the Bruiser played for him for about 3, 4, maybe 5 years. So I hate to say that, but he's with the Titans now, and I just give him a hard time because I got a lot of Cowboy fans, friends, and when you talk football, they're hard to talk to because they are. And Bears fans, believe it or not, are pretty arrogant too. And they're Caleb is playing well, and you know, I got some family members. They all from Illinois. They're big Bears fans, and I just keep quiet about the Chiefs. You know, and you know, always got to explain why you're a Chiefs fan, and are you on the bandwagon? No, I've been a Chiefs fan since 1970, jerk.
That's all. Well, T, you mentioned this. You mentioned earlier, but we're gonna get you out of here. But I hope you don't have plans on Sunday, right? Because the exhibition's on Sunday, 1 o'clock here. 11 o'clock there?
Yes.
It's on BTN Plus, so I expect a full break.
I know, but the problem is I got to make sure my buddy. I'm meeting possibly Morgan in Houston. I'm going to Houston on Friday for the weekend.
Hey, you better pay.
I'll be watching it there. I'm gonna, and if he doesn't have it, I'm gonna make him subscribe to it. I'm not missing it. I'm not missing because I know he's gonna win a golf, but no, I'm not missing the Chiefs, and I'm not missing the Cornhuskers' first exhibition game. So I'll be on it, and we'll be talking about that next week.
Awesome. Hey man, we appreciate your time as always, my brother. Man, take care of yourself. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Hey, thanks for having me, fella. I always enjoy talking to you guys, and. Hey, I'm missing this meeting, but I'm glad I missed the first half of it. So
that's right. We got you.
All right, y'all take care.
Thanks, brother.
All right.
Henry T. Buchanan, Husker legend. Always great stuff from him. Let's take a break and come back. We're going to look trade deadline, NFL. We're going to look at that top targets at each position.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Good stuff. Okay. Wednesday. What time's your tea time?
12:50.
All right. That's when we're at today. 12:50. 50. You hot. Be nice. You'll be out at the club, man. That place in great shape.
Yeah, I haven't played there since you and I played that scramble.
Yeah, that thing was awesome. It's such good shape. Be awesome. Should be a nice day too. I think the clouds are supposed to break too.
Really?
Yep. And it should get you into a nice little day. I mean, according to the weather, you know. What's it show? We're partly cloudy right now. 53 out there, Will Wilson.
Love it.
1 o'clock, 61. Only calling for 5-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, that's perfect.
Out of the north.
That is perfect.
Currently 50 out there right now.
Mom said it's going to be a rough day. I haven't picked up a club since before Labor Day. Yikes.
No excuses.
Yeah, this is around the time that she doesn't usually golf. So that means I might have a chance to finally beat her.
Is there there is competition within this? Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, no. We're not competitive when we play. I mean, but of course, like,
really,
obviously you want to win, but I'm not gonna.
Obviously, you want to win.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the best, Will. I mean, obviously, you want to win.
Greg. Is that going to be a common thing, Greg?
If you're angry. Is he asking if you're angry today?
Yeah. No, he's saying I am.
Oh, there's yikes. Have you Ernesto wants to know if you've taken Nora golfing?
No, we haven't. No. She says she doesn't really like to golf.
Does she like to have fun? Drive a cart, drink beers.
She likes to drive the cart. Yeah. She likes to putt, she said.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, Hooks.
All right.
I'm afraid to golf with her.
Why?
Because I am very big on pace of play. I don't want to be the ones holding people up.
I'm with you.
And I'm not saying that would happen if we golf, but, you know, I don't want to be the jerk.
Yeah, like, hey, we got to go. Pick that up. We got to go.
Yeah, and I know I will be.
I purposely, with my 10-year-old, so they can both play. Like, Ty's on the big course now. He's playing the big course, playing the senior tees now. Tanner, I'm taking Tanner on Sunday because they all get one of their own golf day with Dad. We go on the Talon course, the executive, because he's smaller and he can, you know, it's just good size for him. Purposely booked a tee time where there's no tee times, 3 in front of us or 3 in the back of us.
Oh, smart.
Like, we got to go, bro.
Smart. Yeah, pace of play is a big deal for me.
Mama Wilson even beats you in golf. What can't she do?
Hey, listen.
Huh? What can Mama Wilson not do?
She can play.
Well, Monday. Where is that? Uh-oh. No. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Special thanks to Henry T. Buchanan coming on with us. Missing a meeting, by the way.
I know.
And is in the office. It's his office day.
You don't mind.
I have a question I wanted to ask him, and we'll get to it at some point. It's a funny one because he's always in red, right? Any prediction? I want to predict this with T. How many days in a row could he wear a new, like, Husker gear without having to wash Husker gear to rewear?
Oh, my God.
Think about that. How many shirts, how many days in a row could Henry T. Buchanan go with a new piece of Husker gear on?
I think he can go a solid month
without washing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think he can go
like with that jacket. Like he could wear that today. How long would it be before he wore that again clean?
I think he can go 30 days.
That's a big number.
I think he's got a room dedicated just to have his clothes.
I mean, he's an ambassador. You know, he is an ambassador of the program.
Yes.
Not dogging him, but I think it's interesting. A little NFL boy. He mentioned the Chiefs. We all knew the Chiefs had to make it. We had talked about this. They got to find a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They got one.
Mm-hmm.
They're finalizing the trade right now for wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the Titans will receive a conditional 4th-round pick in the trade. Expected to be completed today.
All right. Well, they got some help.
Oh, I mean, that got some good help.
Yeah. I don't know. DeAndre's kind of been that Julio Jones, you know, where at the end of your career, you just gotta get traded. You're just trying to find a spot. I don't think he's what he used to be. But yeah, he's still
right now, obviously he's playing on a very depleted Tennessee team. Call it what it is. He's 12 years in the league. Right now, he's got 15 catches for 173 and 1 touchdown. Now, is it I'm sure, I mean, yeah, there's some decline, but situations like this tend to, guys like D-Hop go, wait a minute, a little rejuvenation.
Right. You have something to play for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Motivation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously give the Chiefs. I mean, they need to do something. Rashee Rice, we all know about the injury. Hollywood Brown, the shoulder. Juju suffered a hamstring last week. So a move that had to get made.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
because they're without, like, there will be without Juju. I mean, think about it. Without that, what they would be without.
Pretty good help. Okay, fine.
And this honestly, big move for them. Help have a threat, which they need another threat possibly because Kelsey's been garbage.
Yeah, he has been.
I don't think it's lack of them trying to get him the ball. It's just the lack of other weapons.
Well, yeah. I mean, teams are figuring out how to finally cover him. And when you don't have, you're right. When you don't have a lot of help,
So, but
It's
obviously
easy to lock him down.
Obviously, this continues like a red hot October, right? It's been hot with trade. You got, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, things like Cam Akers back to Minnesota. Now you got D-Hop on the move. Leads you to the question about what else is out there.
Mhm.
CBS Sports has a really nice article about the top 3 at each position that could be dealt. Get your thoughts. Quarterback. These are the top 3 quarterbacks that they think could be dealt. Number 1, Justin Fields.
I do think
Fields. Here are the 3: Fields, Dobbs, Bryce Young.
I do think the Chargers are going to be selling. I think that loss to Arizona kind of started that. To give away Herbert.
I mean, Fields has gone 66%. 11.
Oh, you said Fields.
Fields.
Oh, you said Justin Herbert.
Fields.
Never mind.
Fields with the emergence now of Russ Wilson being the guy.
Yeah.
Would they make that move? 1,100 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 1.
What contender really needs a
I don't know.
quarterback right now?
From a backup, don't know.
Miami?
He's 4-2. Running back wise, Miles Sanders, Khalil Herbert, and Matson are the 3 at the list.
Okay.
It's just some interesting names. Wide receivers. I think wide receivers is the most interesting spot. And the names that are on here will surprise you probably based on now the teams, how they're doing. Number 1, T. Higgins.
That makes sense.
With the way the Bengals have gone.
Yeah. I mean, even though they're still kind of in it.
Yeah. But what do you do?
I could see the only reason they trade him is that the whole contract situation.
Yeah.
Because he's been wanting a new contract.
Yes.
I don't think they want to give it to him.
The only thing it's unlikely. 20 catches, by the way, right now. 242, 3 touchdowns. This is one that a lot of reports, there's a lot of calls on this next one. Cooper Kupp.
Oh, geez. Would they really deal him?
The Rams have made calls to prospective trade partners and indicate willingness to take on some of the salary. They're seeking a second-round pick in return.
Wow. Would they really deal him?
I don't know. That's a big name out there.
You know who should look at him? The Seahawks. Because their season is looking okay.
Their season
they lose. Okay. I don't know how long DK is going to be.
They don't know how long DK. That's a great question.
They're in the same division as the Rams, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So little same division trade.
And there's some interesting names out there to start looking at trades. I was trying to figure out. There's another article out there that will show you like teams that you think like who's going to be the buyers and the sellers in this market.
Who do they have for selling?
Here we go. Buyers, sellers, and deals. This is CBS again. 24 NFL trade deadline primer. All right, here we go. Obviously, the deadline is Tuesday the 5th, so there's still a ways out from getting there.
On election day?
Yeah, why not? 4 o'clock. Why not you go vote and watch the trade deadline? It's like and of course you'd be the one that were like, oh, look. Potential buyers. Here you go. There's what they're listed. How about this? Lions, Vikings. Buyers. Sellers, Panthers, Jags, Patriots. What are your Vikings? What would they go buy? What would they need to go buy? Think about that. Great question,
That is a good question.
We'll think about that. We'll ponder and talk about that some more as we get tomorrow to Thursday with Marco D'Angelo, wagertalk.com, and Ask Will Anything tomorrow. Get ready for that. So you guys have a great hump day. Catch you on a Thursday.